Hey everybody, this is Ashley.
And this is Mark.
And we're two cops that have been to jail. So how are we able to arrest people, you ask?
I don't know.
We're gonna tell you. Okay, so Mark, you probably get asked this question just as much as I get asked. You're a cop, you put people in jail every day, you work in a jail environment after having been incarcerated for 60 days. How often do you get that question?
I honestly get it very rarely. I do get it, but I don't get it probably as much as you do.
I get it all the time. All the
Jeez.
time. To me, it doesn't feel like anything's changed in my law enforcement career before I went in versus after, as far as making decisions. Like there wasn't like a big epiphany of, oh God, I can't take this person who's committed this crime to jail. There
hmm
was no moment of, oh no, I can't do this anymore. Because to me, like jail's not the wrong. I think hospitals, if hospitals are capable of taking like mentally ill people in,
Yeah.
more so, violently mentally ill. Let me change that. Let me change my phrasing. Violently mentally ill people. They were able to take those people. That would obviously be the right answer, but sounds more like a.
Well, like here's my thing is I think if we're going to have an honest dialogue, and I think me and you are capable of having that honest dialogue because we've
Mm-hmm.
seen things from both sides of the fence now. We
Yeah.
can't just do away with the incarceration system in America. I
No.
mean, there are still laws that we have to follow. Now, we can work with lawmakers to maybe, lighten the criminal penalties for that. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, we still have a job to do. And if anything, doing the show has helped personally me with my empathy and my sympathy,
Yes.
showing that to people that are incarcerated or that are going to be incarcerated. But at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, when you break the law, you still break the law. You still have to pay back a debt to society, and that's through the
Mm-hmm.
incarceration system. Now,
Yeah.
you mentioned violently ill or violently mentally ill.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that tune in don't see that side of the equation, and
Yeah.
this is another talk really about that's way above our pay grade. It's I think me and you both agree we need more hospitals to cater to the mentally ill because we get a variety in the
Mm-hmm.
incarceration system. There's a lot of people that they have mental health issues, and I would love to see more hospitals built. But at the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day, in some of their cases, as bad as this sucks, and for those that are listening, they're going to be like, well, this sucks, but there's no other place to put them to, number one, keep them safe, but
Mm-hmm.
also keep the general public safe. Because,
Yeah.
yes, we can agree that those people, need to be put somewhere. But unfortunately, right now, there are no hospitals to put them. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
It's
what's.
not us, it's society.
Mhm.
Society needs to step up and provide. Like when they did away with the mental asylums, they were done away with because horrible abusive practices that were taking place on society's most vulnerable people.
Mhm.
And it's like and that's so sad. What was done, like the lobotomies, the electroshock therapy, like that was real and that
Yeah.
was really happening, and it's horrible and disgusting. But there was a need for these hospitals, like these secure hospitals for violently mentally ill people, because there is a difference between somebody who is in mental health crisis, who is thinking of harming themselves, who may have overdosed on drugs, or who may be having some sort of uh, a mental state of crisis due to being high at that moment. Do
Mhm.
they need to be in jail? No. I mean, could we are I mean, is it articulable to take them to jail for public intoxication or something like that? Yes. But do they need to go to the hospital? Yes. Are our hospitals accepting people who are in a state of crisis who have shown violent actions? No, they're not. They're being
Mhm.
rejected. And this is no knock on hospital staff. God knows that I love my ER staff. They are amazing. I love our local hospitals. They're amazing. But certain policies aren't allowing, especially in a pandemic.
Yeah, I was actually going to
Yeah.
say that with COVID,
Mhm.
we are seeing a spike in people that you're
Mhm.
seeing the judicial system say, okay, we will release you, but you have to go to this center or this
Mhm.
place first. And unfortunately, those places are fighting the pandemic. So getting them out and
Mhm.
into a hospital or into a mental health setting isn't proving, you know, fast by any means anymore.
Yeah.
So, but I would also venture to say, yeah, our experience definitely opens us to,
Mhm.
wow, man, these people are, they don't need to be in jail. But what's the alternative for a lot of them?
Mhm.
And I'm
Anybody
not,
have a solution? Because we would love to hear
yeah,
it if you know the answer.
yeah, I'm not
Um,
justifying incarcerating everybody, but under our
mhm.
current state of affairs, under our current system, it's either that or they wind up dead the next day, or
Mhm.
heaven forbid they do harm to someone else. So
Yeah.
it's, as you said,
Mhm.
it's not an easy answer to question under our current system. So by all means,
Mhm.
comment below what's a better system we can do. But
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
we talked about how has this, we started the video with, has this changed your view on law enforcement? No, not at
Mm-mm.
all.
No,
I
but
mean,
it's changed how I do my arrests. There are
mhm,
some things that, and I'm going to be very open and honest, but there are times when, I would arrest people and it was very methodical. Like you put them in handcuffs, you put them in the back of the car, you drive them to the jail, you drop them off, and then you're done with them. Um, Post incarceration, I don't feel a sense of being done with them.
mhm,
I I feel I have accepted responsibility for my decision to take this person to jail, because at the end of the day, it's unless it's a you shall arrest situation per the penal code in Texas, it's a lot of discretion, officer discretion to make those
mhm,
decisions. So when I make that decision, I don't see any reason why I can't let somebody take the extra 5-10 minutes, let them make a phone call, let them try
mhm,
to get their vehicle towed if they can. Obviously, I'm not going to devote my whole night to it, but if I can get a vehicle tow to show up, or if they're like, hey, can I call my mom? Or hey, I'm a parent and I got to figure out childcare for my kid. I've got a job to go to. Can I call my job? There's no reason anymore for me to not allow them to make that phone call, even en route to the jail.
mhm,
I put it on speakerphone. I'm like, tell me the number, buddy. I'll hold the phone up, let them say what they need to say. I feel safe. It's on speakerphone, so it's not like I'm worried about an ambush attack because I'm monitoring everything that's being said. If they haven't eaten, if I arrest them at 11 o'clock at night and they haven't eaten, I know our jail's got like snack bags on standby, little like Johnny's tags. There's no reason I can't take a minute or two and ask,
mhm.
can he get some food? He hasn't eaten. I don't want him getting sick. And then standing there and making sure they're taken care of, or spending the extra few minutes to make sure that they can go through their phone and get the phone numbers they need. It's
Mhm.
I was like like I didn't have compassion prior to going to jail. It's just that the robotics of arrest are gone. If that does that make sense, or do I sound like I used to be? I was never a mean officer arresting
Yeah,
people, but
and
it was like I think about it a lot more.
well, okay, so before I did the show, I was a corrections officer before I did the
Mhm.
show, and
Mhm.
I think you see that the training, while it's not bad training, and before anyone watches this and says I'm bashing the training, um, I do want to talk about our training for a second. As far as the training is concerned, they really stress that inmates are trying to get over on you, that they're trying to they're trying to manipulate you, and in a lot of in some cases, I won't say a lot, in some cases that's true, but you have to be the adult and you have to be the person to distinguish between, is this person trying to get over on me, or are they just trying to get something? And I think of, for example, there was one point during the show that one of my toenails was digging into my other toe, and I know that's probably a gross something
It's
gross to share
reality.
with you, but
It's
it's
a human
reality.
thing.
And
Yeah.
I was bleeding, like I was bleeding through my sock, and I'm like, hey, I just want toenail clippers, and that set of toenail clippers took about 12 hours to get. So
Mm,
yes, is are law enforcement officers overworked and understaffed? Absolutely. But
agreed.
we can still, and I tell that story to say we as law enforcement officers can still make a conscious decision every day not to go into robot mode. And sometimes it's hard. I'm not going to lie to you.
Hmm.
Sometimes I go to work even after doing the show and I go into law enforcement mode. And
Hmm.
and
Especially
so
when you're busy, like the amount of 911 calls have increased. You guys don't even understand. If you're not actively in law enforcement, you don't understand how difficult this pandemic has been on our career. It has
mhm,
been 2020 was a nightmare for first responders.
mhm.
It's just imagine people losing everything that they own because they don't have jobs, and the crisis that comes with that, in addition to being stir crazy and being trapped in your home. Domestic violence situations go up, child abuse situations go up, sexual assaults go up, and it's been hard. And you have to disassociate a little bit when it comes to crimes against persons. You can't let it rule your emotions. So it's
Mhm.
just
So
situations.
I think for people like me and you, that I think that granted, I didn't know you prior to 60 days in, but that
Hmm.
being said, I know you, and I feel like we are kindred spirits, if you will. It's
Yeah,
almost like we're brother and sister from maybe different mothers
we
or
have
something.
to be.
Yeah,
Yes.
we got to figure that out. We got to go get, what do they
Yeah.
call it, Ancestry and Me or 23 and 1, and see if we're
Get
related.
to meet my mom. Yeah, for those who don't know, Mark's coming to my wedding. Mark and his wife
Hmm.
are going to be attending my wedding in May. So that's when you meet my grandpa and you meet my mom. That's when we'll have it all figured out.
And then I got to get a Texas shirt, by the way, but that's an entirely different thing when I'm there. But
Yes.
but I'm looking forward to it. But I
Yeah.
really feel you. I feel like prior to the show, we were probably to an extent the same nice people that we are today. It's
Hmm.
just heightened that. But
Yeah.
as I said, it's one of those, I've got to make a conscious decision every day. Hey, I can't go into robot mode today.
I
And
gotta go the extra mile. So
yeah.
going the extra mile is not that hard. And I encourage all new officers who are getting started in this field, never forget the humanity in the handcuffs. Never forget the person in the handcuffs.
Hmm.
That's what's been. Oh, are you frozen? No. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a good place to wrap up our little mini episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, obviously. Please don't forget to do that. I've been looking at the analytics, and a lot of people who are watching our videos are not subscribing. And we love you, and we're
Yeah.
thankful that you're watching. But if you just hit that little button, then every time we post a new video, you're going to be notified. So,
Amen. Well,
all
good
right, let's
stuff. I
bring it
think it was
in.
a good conversation.